Well, hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below, a rune and tarot divination for Tuesday instead of Monday, the third day of September 2024. Well, I was going to do the reading yesterday, but I didn't sleep the night before, and I just felt awful. And so I figured, well, maybe I better just wait to see if maybe I might feel better, as the day progressed. But no, it just got worse. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do it today instead of yesterday. So apologies for that. And we'll get back on track after this. Let's go ahead and take the Elder Futhark rune for today. Oh, come on. I have to let it fall through my fingers till there's only one left. We have Kenaz. Now, Kenaz is the sixth rune. Well, that's reversed. This is forward. This is reversed. Kenaz is the sixth rune of the Elder Futhark, and it means the torch. And I liken it essentially to the light of spirit. It's about clarity and healing and revelation. It's what's going to be revealed. But it's also the expression of the light within, outward. And then when it's reversed, then it's going to be drawing that light of spirit into you. And so it's when you see it with the rune Gebo, which is an X, you essentially have Kenaz in all directions, and so the light of spirit is being expressed outward in all directions. But again, it's about clarity and revelation, and when you have that, you heal. Truth is sometimes not pleasant, but in the end, you can sort things out with it and you can move on, right? Instead of, sitting there wondering, well, what's really happening? Well, with Kenaz, you're really, it's awakening, it's transformative, it can reflect creativity, but it's a very dynamic, energetic rune that's really talking about soul expression within physical reality. So let's go ahead and see what the ego side of things has to say with the Geomancy runes. All right, putting them in the order of fire, air, water, and earth. We have Fortuna Major. Fortuna Major and Minor are about greater and lesser fortune. And of course, the simplest way to look at it is finances, but not necessarily. Sometimes our greatest fortune is in not just the wealth that we have and the success that we have, although it can be that. It's about the friends we have and the family connections we have, the connection to other people, that interaction, the relationships that we have. So it's a variety of things. But with the energy behind Fortuna Major, you're going to be looking at confidence, self-assuredness. Now, sometimes that can get a little overblown, and you can have a little too much, which doesn't necessarily do well. You might be given, if you're in a leadership role, to micromanaging, if that's the case, if it gets out too far on the extreme. But in a sense, it's the windfall at the end. It's trying to draw from inner guidance, so higher awareness. Whereas its complement, Fortuna Minor, then the opposite end of that would be progressive success, the process you take along the way, and the outer assistance you might ask for to make all of that happen. And so you can see the two, how they connect to one another. But in this case, what we're going to exude here today with Kenaz would be a higher awareness-based self-confidence, maybe. Success that comes after you interact with people that way, where you shed that light of spirit everywhere you go, and people experience that. And that becomes your Fortuna Major. Your greatest fortune is to be able to interact on that level instead of the reactive ego level. So let's start out there as a beginning here of what the runes are going to talk about here, the significator or focus of the reading, if you will. And I've done some shuffling already. I'll just do just a little bit more. And then we'll cut the deck and take the lower half. do 3 cards. We have one from each suit other than the suit of water, or the suit of cups. Cups is the water element. But we start out with the ace. Actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. We have 2 from pentacles and 1 from wands. So actually, air and water, or swords and cups, are missing from the reading. And that either means it's not relevant, or it could be, something that could be the solution. It just depends on how the reading progresses. But we start out with the Ace of Pentacles, and we move then to the Four of Wands, and then we go to the Knight of Pentacles. So we basically bookend then with the earth element and our physical reality. The earth element is going to talk about grounding. It's going to talk about education, home, tradition, things like that. Basically the physical reality within which you live, your work. Generally speaking, it's expressed with a large coin, a pentacle, if you will, with a pentagram in the middle of it. But it's essentially about financial or material security overall, and how that happens for you. But we begin with the Ace of Pentacles. And here you see, like all aces in the Rider-Waite, you see a hand reaching out from the cloud. In its hand, it's holding a very large coin. You see a pathway here leading toward an archway that's sort of created from a hedgerow on either side. You see lilies that border the path here on the grass there. You see some mountains in the distance here as you pass through the archway. And essentially with the Ace of Pentacles, you're looking at maybe something new in terms of material security that's coming your way. It could be a new job, it could be new education, but a new path is forming with the Ace that can lead you towards success and material security, whatever that means. And so here we move on to the Four of Wands. What you cannot see in this is the X pattern. You can kind of see it. You can see the X pattern above, and we talked about that here with Kenaz being expressed outward with Gebo. Well, that's the same sort of thing here, and I know it doesn't really show it but too well, but if you were above that, that's what you would see. You would see the 4 poles there, that providing the little archway or the little area under which the couple gets married. They're either going to, it looks like they've already gotten married here and they've moved back over here toward the castle. You can see their friends and family are over here. You see the arched bridgeway there to get from where they are to their home in the castle. You see the man is holding 2 bouquets high, the woman is holding 1. And essentially with wands, you're looking at the fire element, and so the spark of life, the spark of new creativity, of new opportunity, it's motivation and initiation. It can be intuition as well. But here you're looking at, in fact, you can't hardly see where you only see the garland tied here and here actually. But the implication is that there's an X pattern above it. It just, to me, that's what it looks like. And so they've essentially begun a new life together. You can look at this also, if you really want to get esoteric about it, you can look at the balanced polarity of each individual as represented by the equidistance of the 2 poles here and the 2 poles here. They could represent the vibrational level or balance of each individual here, the man and the woman, as they get married. They've come together in balanced polarity with one another and made that agreement to come together and build a new life together, to take that new opportunity. And if you're talking about a new path of financial security, now you've got both people, especially if they're both working, say they're successful, they are at careers or whatever, and they both can bring income into the relationship. So whether this is a marriage or it's a partnership of some kind, a business partnership, it could also imply that. With the 4, you're looking at foundation and structure, practicality, and And really a form of strength when you think about it. How strong are the corners of your home? You know, if they're not well grounded, essentially, then maybe the house falls down when the big wind when a big wind comes by, right? So you have that sense of groundedness with the four. And practicality and responsibility and dependability, all of that. And so the four actually is a very good earth number, if you will. Where you get that foundation that now you have a new path that's opening to something new. And again, maybe that new thing that's coming is a partnership for you. So you can look at it that way. Either a marriage that strengthens your own material security, or in business, a new partnership that's forming to where you're going to maybe do a new business with somebody, or you're inviting another partner into your business. To maybe make the business better, bring more money in. If it's you've got somebody you've been in competition with, maybe together you can make more money than apart. See, it could be that kind of thing. So you each bring your strengths to the situation and increase the fourness of it. You know, the numerology of four with it. Where a better sense of grounding when all is done. So right now, I think we're looking at that. And then we bring in the Knight of Pentacles. And this could represent the way forward in a trustworthy and practical way. The Knight is always on a quest. In this case, you see his beautiful black steed. He's kind of up on a precipice, maybe, and he's there to offer some kind of advice or assistance or help, something positive to the situation here. He holds his pentagram, or rather his pentacle, out in offering. His visor is up, so he's not in any kind of battle. When they weren't in battle, knights were often sent around to take care of the king's properties, essentially. And if that amounted to different villages that are in the greater area that the king owned, well, that might be something that he might send a knight out to govern this one, or to help, another knight maybe to go to another one. I mean, whatever they did. But the idea is to offer help and assistance and advice, and to be that positive force. And so either the knight is going to represent you as the person who is that way, who's going to make that kind of contribution to the new path that may involve a new partnership. You could be that partner that brings that kind of strength into the equation. And from there, he could also represent somebody that you seek out for advice. And so again, he could be bringing his knowledge and his expertise into a situation. And so again, the hit I'm getting off of this is that this is either you as the partner, or the partner that you're coming into partnership with, the individual you're coming into partnership with. To me, that seems likely. And so as you then with Kenaz, with the idea of expressing the light outward, you're drawing in as well that from other people. If you think of everyone that you populate your experiences with, the soul's experiences with, as simply the other side of self, the type of experiences that you want to have while you're here, it just seems to me that it's that integrated experience of expression and then drawing back in. So expressing outward and drawing inward. And you have that interaction, that interplay between the two to manifest the experiences you want to have. Well, today's reading is suggesting that something new is coming that may have to do with your material security, and it may involve a partnership or going outside the partnership and getting advice. That could be it as well. But it seems to me that I think that the Knight of Pentacles is probably more integrative with the Four here, and is one of those partners, or it creates a type of strength that you're then able to offer, if it's a business, to your clients. Increased strength, increased knowledge, increased awareness, increased experience, if you will. And so maybe that's how we're looking at this, that this is, with the Knight, it's actually what you end up being able to offer people after you open the new opportunity for a new partnership comes your way. And then from there, the Fortuna Major, that's could be the value of that new partnership. That could be your Fortuna Major, or then what you can then do with that and express to the world, especially if this is a business. Um, but if it's about, a marriage or something, where that may be coming down, it may be in your future essentially, and that's coming. It could be a marriage that's very strong and based on living in service to other people. The Knight of Pentacles could be also viewed that way, as living in service to other people. So that's kind of interesting for a Tuesday instead of a Monday. We'll see on Thursday, though, when we meet again, if this is going to continue. I kind of have this sense that we're not done with this story, and I don't think it means that I need to take another card. I just think that there could be more to this, that there's some new opportunity, some shift that's happening right now, energetically for people. Where doors are opening to other kinds of thinking, other kinds of perception, other kinds of choices that may benefit you more realistically in the long run. And whether it's forming new partnerships with a person or groups or whatever it is, it's something that's going to benefit you in the long run, materially in your personal life. As opposed to interaction and creativity or emotions or something like this. This is really about your physical structure, your physical reality, and how coming into partnership with somebody else or a group of someone else's might be the way to go. So whether it could be a collaborative experience that's coming. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. And it just depends on what's happening in your life as to how you might interpret this for your own self, how it might resonate for you. So anyhow, I think that's it. I think we did it for a Tuesday. This stuff's out on the blog over at Stepping Aside. You want to check that out. The web address is imsteppingaside.com. Click on more below the video. If you forget, no window will open and it shows that. The website address right there at the top. If you scroll down further, then you'll see the social media places, the dreaded social media sites that I'm on. And also the other platforms that I post my work on, Medium, Patreon, and Substack. At least currently that's where I'm doing it. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing that or not. I think I said this either the last time we met or the time before, where we're getting into that time of year where I start rethinking what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and I'll see if I want to keep any of those or if I want to let them go or what have you, and just focus on the blog and not post everywhere else. But I kind of like doing it, and so I'll probably continue, but we'll see. I'll be thinking about that as the months go on. See just how things happen around here and around the homestead, if you will, and see what things I end up doing there, and that might take some of my attention away from the other stuff that I do. But we'll just see how it goes. All that said, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you had a nice weekend. If you were able to have 3 days off, that's always fun. My granddaughter begins second grade today, and her brother next in line, there's a younger one besides those two, who's not preschool age yet, but getting there. But the oldest grandson starts kindergarten today, so he's very excited. He actually went one day last week. The kindergartner teacher, she likes to evidently bring them in, split them up into two groups, and bring one group in one day and on Thursday, and the other group on Friday, just to get them accustomed to being there. And so that was he looked pretty happy in a picture we got, his first day technically, but today actually school starts. So we'll see how that goes for him. We're very excited for him. He seems really happy and excited about going. So, we'll see how that goes. Sometimes they'll vacillate a little bit, not be too sure about whether or not they want to really be there all day long or whatever, but we'll see. I think he'll do well. And I know his sister's excited about starting second grade. So So that's what's going on in our extended family. And my husband, he got some zucchini from the garden yesterday, and he made 2 loaves of zucchini bread, and we will be sending them down to them today. We'll go drop by UPS and let them send them on to them. So they'll get that tomorrow because our grandson, in particular, the oldest one, loves zucchini bread. So, especially because grandpa makes it. So that makes it extra special. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. And I hope you're doing well in your life. And if you were able to get together safely with family, I know COVID is really on the increase. So be extra careful. If you haven't been masking up, consider doing so. This, I guess, is a pretty contagious strain. So I don't know. This is not a good thing going into school, but it just seems to be, when it all sort of increases, is right before school starts, and so we'll see how that goes for kids in the country. But if you haven't been masking, this might be the time to rethink that and just be a little more careful, so that you're safe and well, and the family stays safe and well, and as we move on into fall and all the holidays, Samhain or Halloween, and winter solstice or Yule or Christmas, however, Thanksgiving, all of that. This is the time when everybody gets together, and so you want to be careful there, I think, right during this time. So I know we are, and I'm back to double masking at the grocery store because you just don't know, right? And we've never had COVID, so we'd like to keep it that way. Anyway, thanks for watching, and come back again on Thursday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.